Okay, let's talk about hysterectomy. I know that this is very confusing for individuals, especially if you have taken any of the quizzes that give you your female hormone type. The idea is the 7 female hormone types. Well, what if I've had a hysterectomy? Where does that put me? Well, the first thing you need to understand about these hormone types is there's no such thing as 7 different hormone types. That is not something that is actually real. It's just a clinical tool. In other words, we stratify you into 7 types because it is much easier at that point to find your individual type. There's not 7 hormonal types, there's infinite hormonal types. And so what we do is we take these 7 different types from normal menstrual cycle, younger women, to postmenopausal, menopausal, perimenopausal women, to people with lower estrogen dominance or lower estrogen, higher progesterone, or lower progesterone, higher estrogen, etc. And we get these hormonal states, and then we use that as a starting point only. And from there, you begin to tweak, adjust, sleuth like a detective to figure out your own hormonal type. And so that's the first thing to understand. Don't get too caught up on these types because in the end, you're going to find your own type. Now, that being said, how do we stratify you if you've had a hysterectomy? Well, there's 3 different types really of hysterectomies. One is you've had a hysterectomy, you've had the uterus removed, but you have 2 ovaries. Well, from this perspective, then you're just stratified based on age because you've lost some of the ability to measure menses and menstrual flow and menstrual symptoms, right? But you're still secreting these hormones. And so then we essentially put you in to your age bracket. So if you tend to fall into the 40 to 55 year range, we'll probably put you at perimenopause. If you fall into the older range, we'll put you at menopause. In the younger range, we'll put you with the younger women. Now, again, it's not a huge issue because you are releasing hormones and you will adjust based on your reactions to the plan. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. Let's say 1 ovary was taken and 1 was left. Well, if you only have 1 ovary, that automatically reduces the amount of hormone that you would be secreting, basically by half. And so this looks very much like perimenopause. So no matter the age, whether you're 20 years old, 40 years old, you're still going to be put and classified as a hormone type of perimenopause. The age doesn't matter at that point. Now we're looking at total hormonal effects. Same thing goes for if you have 0 ovaries. Well, you have the uterus removed, you had both ovaries removed. That puts you in menopause immediately. It doesn't matter if you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old. This is menopause. You've lost the ability to secrete your hormones. But again, don't let this stress you out too much because whatever your hormone type, you're going to begin to tweak and adjust anyway, and you'll find the perfect type for you, your individual female formula. These hysterectomy considerations are not going to impact your ability to do that. They just set you up on a plan, and then we're going to see how that works for you. So hopefully that explains how we handle hysterectomy.